How are yous going? Dusty Bogan here. Did you see this Julian Assange guy finally been, you know, arrested, dragged out of the embassy after something like 6 years? Fuck, I was in this hospital. Look, if you follow me, that's where I got my getting out of surgery. What was that? 4 days. It's pretty average. I could imagine this dude being in there for 6 years. Apparently they cut his internet off. That would have sucked. I was sitting in hospital. It's cool these days. I was sat there just watching Netflix and YouTube and chatting to everyone on Telegram. Um, it was awesome. So this dude, they dragged him out. Look at him. I was like, Santa. Looks like Santa. Um, Yeah, so you wonder what's going to happen. They reckon they could even take him to bloody Sweden on them rape charges, which are probably like fake, trumped up. I don't know. And then I even heard some other conspiracy from that Q thing. Someone was talking to me on Telegram. And they're like, maybe someone saying actually Trump's going to get him and use him as like for information. Imagine if that's a perfect world scenario. Hey, like put him in some resort prison for the rest of his life and just be like, here's a computer, mate. Keep finding us out all this information that we could use. Whatever. But who knows? I think that would be far-fetched in a sense. I don't know if I believe that. But who doesn't love a good conspiracy? Do you know what I mean? I would say, the dude's probably had a shit 6 years and he was always waiting for them to break down the door. So, maybe he's going to be better off now. Who knows? So, but yeah, definitely pray for that dude. He's like freedom of speech champion, and freedom of speech is just so under attack right now. It's like the PC control freaks are in full effect around the world, silencing common sense, and you just can't do anything. The thing is, you look at Brisbane, you look where I'm from. Last year, if you follow my Dusty Bogan YouTube channel, last year, you look at it, so many shows, so many, people coming on speaking to us. Now no one's getting visas. There was so many rallies, and now there's no rallies. And I wonder if there just hasn't been, they're just not issuing permits. You know what I mean? And these are all, say classical liberalism, conservative and libertarian. That's the spectrum of the kind of rallies I was going to. And there was heaps of, and just standing up for traditional family values. And there was heaps of these events. Now they're all shut down. And people are being booted off Facebook. And it's crazy, and you just think like, what the heck, man? I thought, you think democracy, when you have a democracy, and it's like, you're trying to win the vote for your party. You have your political philosophy. You have your ideas of ways you believe would be beneficial. Better for the nation, better for the people. And to outwork that, you need to be able to debate ideas and put forward ideas and talk. And now freedom of speech has been stifled, but we all kind of seen it coming, because the PC culture is really the hiding behind the PC culture. It's a way to it's like a pacify. Using the PC culture, it's like a manipulation to pacify people into submission. Really, that's what it is. And we know this. It's like the same thing with the Muslims. They're like the religion of peace. Well, see, that's a manipulation to pacify Muslims into non-violence, because they don't want them to read the Quran. They don't want them to know what the words say. They want them to be a religion of peace, and they would like them to follow the 5 pillars of Islam and have a culture, and that's fine. But as long as you don't read your Quran and become actually violent, because then we're going to have a real problem on our hands. And that was all just a manipulation to pacify Muslims, whilst they can bomb, whilst Obama and Bush were bombing the crap out of, pretty much every second Muslim country, wasn't it? So they're all kind of stupid idiots, and I wouldn't have. You'd think like, yeah, you wouldn't want to bomb any of them. Maybe you would go after. I would have just gone, been like, just go after Al Qaeda, bloody Hezbollah, ISIS, all the groups. Just be like, we're coming in. Talk to the government. We're coming in. We're going to wipe these dudes out, and then we're pissing off. And maybe every 2 years we'll just come back through and we'll just do a sweep. But we're not going to bomb you. We're not going to try dethrone your government. We're just going to stay out of your business. But these groups are real radical. We're going after them. Go after the radicals. Yeah, I think that's probably right. When they are doing things like killing minorities, that's crazy. When they're actually doing genocide, and it's just like, it's the upside down kingdom. These people are bloody championed, aren't they? Anyway, that was a mad tangent. So the Assange video, did you see him? I seen straight away. It was all on Telegram, and it was him being arrested. I thought, oh yeah. And then straight up, someone created the Democracy Manifest, which is like some dude. The original video is like some dude, and I think it was even Brisbane, getting arrested out of a Chinese restaurant. And it's so hilarious. And someone's done the voiceover. So let's listen to it, because maybe you're not familiar. We'll just listen to the voiceover. It's quite funny. And I hate to take the piss out of something so serious, but do you know what? It's kind of, when it's so good, you just got to enjoy it.
Sit down inside the car. We're not assuring anything. We're under arrest.
Look, I'm under what? Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before. Why did you do this to me? That's
I thought that was pretty funny. Of course, there's the original. I'll find you the original. Oh no! Here's the original of that. So let's just watch that, and you think, what the fuck are we doing watching this? But it's quite funny.
Just a moment, you just assured me that I could speak.
Sit down inside the car. We're not assuring anything. We're under arrest.
Look, I'm under what? Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before.
Get some cups.
Why did you do this? Hop in the car. Get some cups. For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well. Good one. And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis? Now, get your hands off me. Ta-ta! And farewell.
That's Julian Assange's actual dad. Just joking. So we'll watch the original now, because I just thought that was hilarious that someone's taken this iconic Australian video and then they've like voice overed it. So if you've heard it, because I think heaps of people would have been like, what the? Probably listened to it and not like thinking that's the real audio, but it wasn't. So that'd be just so funny. I just love that. It's like the Aussie, pop culture. Well, it's kind of the underground pop culture, but it still is. But it's like, some awesome person was so quick to put that voiceover on. I think it was brilliant. Good on you. So we'll watch the real audio on the Assange arrest. The UK must resist. I reckon we all need to bloody resist because we've got a bunch of I don't know what. I don't think there's a conspiracy. I think it doesn't have to be a conspiracy. I just think it's political correctness gone mad, and it's virtue signaling gone mad, and I think it's the reason the Western world is just getting itself into strife. I think maybe everyone got iPhones, and they're like, I want to be friends with people. And then, you're like, oh, I got to be friendly. I got to be nice. I can't say anything wrong. And then it just like built this mentality, having the iPhone, having the smartphone, having social media. And it's like we built the mental patterns. And then it's like, maybe the government's just going with the flow with that. And then obviously the universities. And then it's like, we've just created our own self-destructive foolishness where we're like, we can't talk about, it's like you talk about immigration, you're like, hey, I think we shouldn't have illegal immigration. You're a racist. I don't think we should have, should we really change the definition of man and female, get rid of gender on birth certificates? Do we really need to change the way are we going to get in trouble and arrested for misgendering someone? A $3,500 fine in Tasmania. There's all these things, and if you say anything, you're like, hang on a minute, I kind of disagree with that. I kind of think that's going a bit far, and it's like racist, homophobic. You think like anyone's like, they go on about vegan stuff, militant vegans, and it's like, you're like, hang on, man, don't really think like halal slaughter of animals is fair. It's like, fucking Islamophobe. Female genital mutilation is disgusting, shouldn't happen. It's barbaric. You're a fucking Islamophobe, women wearing a burqa, I think that's suppression of women. Like, where are the feminists? You're a fucking Islamophobe, you're racist, And it's like ScoMo. I mean, ScoMo's done the smart thing. He's like, hang on a minute, the infrastructure can't handle the population, and I'm pretty sure people don't want to spend 3 hours a day driving to and from work in traffic jams. We need to slow down on immigration. You're a fucking racist. Do you know what I mean? We're like, hang on a minute. You say things and you go, hang on a minute. You guys, 65% of every dollar through taxes ends up back in the government's hand. And then you're like, I just think if you can't solve the problem with global warming by taxing us at 65%, well, you're definitely not going to be able to solve it by taxing us an extra 5%. You're already taxing us. 65 cents in every dollar comes back to the government. When does it stop? You can't. You want to tax us this much and say, we're going to tax you more, and that's going to solve the problem of global warming. And you're like, hang on a minute, and then you're like, you're a climate change denialist. You're like, oh, I'm just pointing out some common sense there. So they go after you, and hate you. Or you tell people, you're like, hey man, did you know that the reason why we're bringing in immigrants, we have to, is because people aren't having enough children? Why is that? Like, yeah, I understand. Economically, it's good. It's a real positive, and we kind of want the economy to grow, and a good way to do that is through population growth. And we understand because people aren't having children, as many kids. Yeah, we want a growing economy, so we're bringing people. And you're like, well, hang on a minute. We kind of different people do things different, and I don't know. Is there a clash of cultures and ideas? Like, some of these Islamic ideas, yeah, they just don't really coexist. We know that because we can see it in Nigeria and Israel. There's confrontation with Jews and Christians, and in Israel. There's confrontation with Jews and Muslims, and sorry, there's confrontation with Jews and Muslims in Israel. And we see in Nigeria there's confrontation with Muslims and Christians in Nigeria. And we see this confrontation of Catholics and Muslims in the Philippines. And we see even the communist Chinese are having issues with the Muslims and the Russians and the Europeans and the Americans. Everywhere there's West Papua, they're having a problem with the Muslims. There's a problem there. In Fiji, there's a problem with the Muslims. So it goes beyond race. It has nothing to do with race. Has nothing to do with... But what it has there's a... Islam doesn't mix well. It doesn't mix well. We can just see that. You say these things and you're racist and you're a Islamophobe. And they try to silence us, don't they? Try to silence you from saying that. They forget we live in a democracy. They forget that we fought like hell to create the modern world and to, made some mistakes, learned from the mistakes, improved along the way, and created the modern world, created Western culture, created the greatest civilization on earth. And it's like, we don't want to throw it down the toilet. We don't want to give it up for an ancient barbaric way, or because ultimately what we're saying is, do you want to live in the modern world, in the Western world? Do you want to live this amazing life, amazing nation, or do we want to trade that in for, seems to be, communism or an Islamic nation? We're like, no, hang on a minute, we don't want that. But the PC culture's taken over. They don't want to upset anyone. So you get in trouble for, you look at the issues and you go, we're not really happy about these issues, and then they vilify you for saying it. And then now we're waking up and we're saying, hang on a minute, what's caused it? People run down the rabbit hole of conspiracy theories, and I just think we need to just face the PC madness and just say, hang on a minute, guys, can we have a conversation about this? What's going on? Nothing is nothing in this world. The PC madness is probably not the true reality in life, because life is tough and hard, and you're gonna have challenges. So, and there is, some things are better than others. Some ideas are better than others. Some ideas produce. We know that they're better because what they produce. That's a good way to see it, isn't it? So anyway, thanks for listening to my rant. Cheers. Hopefully Julian all works out. All good for him. Probably not, but quite funny that we've seen this video with the Democracy Manifesto, the voiceover. I thought that was great. It's a good Australian thing to, even in tough times, have a laugh and take the piss. And even though it might be a bit insensitive, but I guess it's the larrikin way. And he's an Australian, Julian, so maybe he would laugh about it too. And I reckon he'll be right. He'll probably be tough enough, and I would just pray for him that he would have a bit of a spiritual help from the Holy Spirit, and have that bit of a help in his mind and his heart, and be at peace. And we would all have to be thankful and grateful that someone has been courageous like him, standing up, being countercultural with the PC culture and all the madness going on. So cheers, eh?